The film opens with haunting silence. We see a wounded woman drifting down a cold river, her body limp, her breath faint. As she floats toward the unknown, flashes of memory burst through her fading consciousness. What led her to this tragic fate? To find the answer, the story takes us back 30 years, deep into the heart of America's wild, unforgiving forest. We meet 12-year-old Helena, a young girl raised far from civilization, living in total isolation with her father, Jacob Holbrook. From the very start, their relationship feels complicated. There's love, but also something deeply unsettling. Jacob is not just her father. He's her mentor, protector, and the only world she knows. They are survivalists, trained hunters, navigating a brutal wilderness together. The forest is their home, their prison, and their entire reality. And Jacob teaches Helena everything: how to track prey, shoot, clean meat, and stay alive at any cost. One day, on a routine hunt, Jacob hands her the rifle. This is her test. She aims, holds her breath, and misses. The deer bolts. Disappointed, Jacob turns stern. "What did you learn?" he asks coldly. Helena answers, "The deer caught their scent." She's right, but there's no praise. Just another lesson. Failure isn't tolerated in Jacob's world. They return to their small, off-grid cabin, where Helena's mother, Beth, waits. She prepares a fire to cook dinner, but Jacob sharply stops her. "No food today." Beth lowers her head silently. Here, we see a harsh truth. Jacob rules this household, and love between him and Beth is non-existent. Helena is closer to her father than her own mother, who treats her with distance and occasional cruelty. In this warped world, Jacob is Helena's entire universe. More disturbingly, Helena bears tattoos on her arms, each one burned into her skin by Jacob. But to her, they're marks of pride, rewards earned through obedience and successful survival tasks. They're symbols of love, of being enough. Despite the isolation and strictness, Helena finds a strange joy in this life. She believes she's special, trained, chosen, loved, until things begin to shift. One day, Helena sees something strange by the river. Her mother, struggling in the water, and Jacob standing beside her. Is he helping? Or hurting her? The image plants a quiet seed of doubt in Helena's mind, one that won't fully bloom until years later. That night, Helena plays a small flute she made from wood. It's one of the many toys she crafts from leaves and sticks, her way of adding color to a colorless life. But the sound irritates her mother, who snaps at her to go to sleep. The next morning, Helena and Jacob check their traps. In one, they find only a wolf's severed leg. Helena is shocked. Jacob explains the wolf chewed off its own limb to escape. "It's survival," he says. "Sometimes you have to do the unthinkable." It's a dark lesson. Jacob stores the meat in a hidden cabin nearby, one Helena isn't allowed to enter. When she asks for her own secret storage, Jacob promises, "Soon, when you're ready." That night, Helena is awakened by noises outside. She opens the door to find a starving wolf and its cub, sniffing around the deer carcass. Compassionately, she suggests feeding them the leftovers. But Jacob, emotionless, refuses. "There's no mercy in nature," he insists. He hands Helena a gun and orders her to kill them. Helena hesitates. She can't bring herself to do it. So Jacob takes the gun and kills both. The next morning, Jacob goes out hunting alone. Helena begs to come, but he gently declines. "Not today, little shadow," he says. Left alone with her mother, Helena gets the first glimpse of a world beyond the forest. A man on a motorbike, lost, appears outside. He's the first outsider Helena has ever seen. Beth seizes the chance. She begs the stranger to help her and take Helena away. But before anything can happen, a gunshot. The man collapses. Jacob has returned. Panic, Beth knocks Helena unconscious with a rock and flees on the stranger's bike. When Helena wakes up, she's no longer in the forest. She's in a hospital. The lights, machines, and strangers overwhelm her. It's a whole new world, alien and terrifying. Sheriff Clark gently assures her she's safe now. He tells her, "Your mother is here too." But Helena isn't relieved. She's confused, angry, betrayed. Why have they left home? She finds her mother, and what follows is a heartbreaking confrontation. Helena demands they return to the forest. But Karen, now using her real name again, explains the truth. The forest wasn't a home. It was a prison. Jacob had kidnapped her 12 years ago. He assaulted her and forced her to live in captivity, raising Helena under lies and fear. Helena doesn't believe it. She screams, denies everything. She defends Jacob fiercely, calling her mother a liar and a traitor. Everything she believed, her life, her father, her home, has been a carefully crafted illusion. Desperate and disoriented, Helena escapes the hospital. Using her wilderness skills, she slips away unnoticed, disappearing into the quiet streets of the small town. And there, as if summoned by instinct, she finds Jacob, standing calmly, whistling her flute's tune. But before they can flee, police swarm in from all sides. Jacob is arrested. As he's dragged away, he whispers chillingly, "Wait for me. I'll come back." Helena collapses, sobbing. Once again, she's torn from the only person she ever trusted. 18 years later, Helena appears to be living a quiet, peaceful life. She's married to a kind man named Stefan and has a young daughter named Marigold. On the surface, everything looks normal, but the past still haunts her. Beneath layers of makeup, Helena hides the disturbing tattoos Jacob gave her, symbols of survival, control, and trauma. She lives in secrecy, keeping her past buried. Even Stefan has no idea that Helena is the daughter of Jacob Holbrook, the man known in legend as the Marsh King, a brutal criminal who once held her mother captive in the wilderness. One afternoon, after picking Marigold up from school, Stefan invites Helena to attend a social gathering. Reluctantly, she agrees. At the party, Helena grows increasingly uncomfortable as she's asked casual questions about her family, questions she lies her way through to protect the truth. But miles away, the unthinkable happens. Jacob escapes custody. During a prison transport, he and another inmate brutally murder the guards and vanish into the night. The Marsh King is free again. The next morning, police swarm Helena's home. The FBI informs her that Jacob is on the run, and this time, they fear he might come for her. Stefan is stunned. It's the first time he hears the truth. The woman he married is the daughter of one of the most feared men in recent history. Feeling betrayed and frightened, he takes Marigold and leaves. Now alone, Helena is overwhelmed with guilt and dread. Her world begins to unravel. She returns to her basement and opens a hidden box from her past. Inside, a knife Jacob once gave her during her childhood, part of the life she thought she left behind. That night, unable to sleep, she swims in the lake trying to calm her thoughts, but the fear lingers. Meanwhile, Jacob begins his dark journey, closing in on the family he once claimed as his own. Soon after, Helena is summoned by the FBI. They tell her that a fiery car crash occurred near the Canadian border. 2 bodies were recovered, one believed to be Jacob. But Helena isn't convinced. She remembers Jacob's gold teeth, a detail not mentioned in the autopsy report. Her instincts scream, he's still alive. Stefan and Marigold return home, but things remain tense. Stefan, still hurt, demands answers. For the first time, Helena opens up about her past, the tattoos, the truth about her parents. She reveals everything. Stefan, moved by her vulnerability, forgives her. The family begins to heal. Later, they visit Carl, Helena's stepfather, who raised her after her mother escaped Jacob. Helena introduces Marigold to Carl, calling him Grandpa, a moment that touches Carl deeply. There, Helena also confesses something she's held for years, that she always believed her mother, Karen, hated her. Carl gently corrects her, explaining that Karen loved Helena fiercely, but struggled under the weight of trauma. It's a moment of emotional clarity for Helena, finally setting some of her inner demons to rest. But peace doesn't last. Helena starts experiencing nightmares of Jacob, reliving memories she thought she buried. One morning, she notices mud tracks in the house, immediately fearing Jacob's return, only to realize it was just Marigold's muddy shoes. Still, her unease grows. Then, while shopping, she hears it, Jacob's whistle, the same haunting melody from her childhood. That night, one of her traps outside the house is triggered. In it, a freshly killed rabbit, placed deliberately. It's a message, Jacob is near. Helena panics. She tells Stefan, calls Carl, and braces herself. But one thing becomes clear. This won't end until she ends it herself. Determined to protect her family, Helena returns to the forest. Back to the place where it all began. She retraces old paths, memories flooding in, her childhood footsteps, the river, the cabin. And then she finds him, Jacob, aged, but still imposing. He steps out of the shadows, calm, almost welcoming. "Come back with me," he says. "Bring Marigold. We'll be a family again, like before. We'll go to Canada." But Helena, no longer the frightened little girl he once controlled, refuses. She tells him the truth he still denies. "You kidnapped my mother. You abused her. You stole my childhood. And I will not let you steal anything more." Jacob, furious, insists Karen stayed with him willingly. But Helena won't hear it. Suddenly, Carl appears, having secretly followed Helena out of concern. He tries to intervene, but Jacob reacts with violence. He kills Carl. Helena screams in horror. Jacob grabs her and throws her into the punishment pit, a place he once used to break her as a child. But Helena isn't the same girl anymore. She remembers a long-buried memory, her mother, once rescuing her from this same pit, whispering, "I might be weak, but you're strong. You can overcome anything." Fueled by that memory, Helena breaks through the wooden barrier and climbs out. She's done being hunted. Rushing to the secret cabin, she retrieves a hidden gun. Jacob, preparing a boat to escape, spots her and dives into the river. A final, brutal confrontation begins. Helena fires, misses. Jacob, the master survivalist, shoots her in the leg, wounding but not killing her. He approaches slowly, confident she's finished. "Little shadow," he says, trying to regain control. But Helena, in pain but unbroken, stares him down. "You're weak," she says. Real strength doesn't come from fear or control. At the edge of a steep riverbank, Helena tricks him, pretending to slip. Jacob reaches out to catch her, but she grabs him, and both tumble into the cold water below. We return to the opening scene. Helena, floating injured in the river. Jacob swimming toward her. The gun nearby. She grabs it. He reaches. She shoots. One final bullet. One final act of freedom. The Marsh King is dead. Helena, broken but finally free, returns home. She reunites with Stefan and Marigold, her family safe. The ghosts of her past may never vanish completely, but she is no longer their prisoner. The reign of the Marsh King is over. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.